David in Redwood City, California, you're next up here on the show. Hi there.
Hi there.
Welcome. What's going on?
Cool. So, hi, I'm in the middle of starting a company here in my garage in Silicon Valley, which I hear is a thing to do. And I wanted to share that with you and get your take.
Oh, you know what? I remember you. There was an article about you about this. And you know why I was so fascinated about this, David? Let me tell you.
Why is that?
Is that you and I have gone through similar experiences. Yay. What I mean by that is that when a parent is diagnosed with cancer, your life changes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's suddenly all heck breaks loose. I mean, and my mother was diagnosed a year and a half ago with pancreatic cancer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's tough. But I will tell you, she's been going to MD Anderson, and she has one little spot on her liver, and they took out the pancreatic tumor. I mean, it's so crazy, the technology that they're using right now. And so when I was reading about you on CNBC, is that I saw that you had developed an app, because one of the things that I have done consistently is, because I noticed in the first 2 appointments with oncologists, they speak their own language. I don't know about you. Yeah. I mean, they do, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's either black or white. It's never gray, and I totally get that. They have to be like that. And then you have family members who are saying, "What did they say?" And you're like, yeah. It's kind of like this blur, not really sure what he said. You know, in one case, I just remember the surgeon at the Mayo Clinic crying because his mother died of pancreatic cancer and telling me that he wouldn't operate on my mother. And that's why we didn't go to the Mayo Clinic, by the way. Among others. And they're right in my back door, right, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. But anyway, so I started using a voice recorder app to record the conversations that, you know, sometimes can be 30 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
Of a lot of mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was fascinated about what you created. So tell me more about it.
Sure. So the app as it exists today is pretty straightforward. You put together a chat room where recordings of doctor conversations are treated as a first-class citizen. So you set up the room with everyone who you want to get an update about what's going on with a medical condition. And it can be just you if that's what you want. But the idea is this is super helpful for letting family know what's going on when they can't be in the room with you. And you come into the room, you get the doctor's permission to record the consultation, and you tap the big microphone icon. And at that point, we record whatever you and the doctor are talking about. And at the end, you give a name to the recording. It gets saved on our cloud and shared out to the people in the room. And we also automatically provide a transcript of the conversation and what happened, and put that in the room too.
Oh, you
so
do?
Everybody can be,
you do transcripts? Yeah. I didn't see that. That's amazing.
That's right. Yep. So right now it's just a machine-generated transcript, and the quality of those is getting much, much better. Even in the last year or so, quality for what's out there with ASR vendors has gotten much better. And something that we're considering in a future release is enabling a premium upsell for human medical transcriptionists to come in and diarize the transcript and to provide a summary of what was discussed.
That's super smart. Now, you don't have because when, like I was talking about with my mom, I think your father was diagnosed with cancer, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's actually my mom got lung cancer and passed. Then my brother got brain cancer, is still around, and then my father got prostate cancer and passed. So, so sort of 3 times over, I got to see what the patient and family journey was like, and the degree to which so much information, like you were saying, was being shared in these very brief consultations, very dense exchange of information.
It is very, you know what, that's, you know what, you just used a word. These are dense conversations. There's no fluff in this.
Yeah, because they've got like 20 minutes with you, and they got to run out the door to go and talk with another patient. And so they're giving you this very efficient debrief of test results, of options, what's on the table, medications, possible interaction effects. And then they're like, do you have any other questions? And oftentimes the patient's just there kind of shell-shocked, like, wait, was the result bad?
Right.
Am I going to be okay? Right. And so there's very little of what was shared that was actually understood or retained by the patient. And they never, it's kind of a one-shot, right? The doctor's not just reading off of a pamphlet and then handing the patient the pamphlet so they can take it home and digest it more later. Oftentimes there's so much nuance that's presented about the different treatment options and the sort of pros and cons of different literally life and death choices that's there that you only ever get in the consult.
Yes.
So it seemed to me kind of obvious, like we got to capture this. We can't just drop this information on the floor. The patient should be able to fully get advantage of this time that they have with the doctor.
And you know what? I'll tell you, Dave, you are so smart. This is such a great idea, really. I mean, and it serves so many needs, and it really will truly help people, like you mentioned, go through this whole journey, this process, because you only get a certain amount of time. And it's not like, I mean, the doctors may answer your email or you'll get a PA or something after the fact, like, what did he mean when he said, or what did she mean when I heard this, right? But if you have that whole conversation, and if there's somebody in your healing circle, recovery circle, whatever you want to call it, treatment circle, who is also a medical professional, that's also great too, because they're hearing things that are different than what you're hearing.
Yeah, so you can get, obviously, second opinion. You can get better understanding of what was communicated. You share it with your Aunt Sarah, who happens to be a medical professional, and get her take on what was shared.
Well, this is so cool. We're gonna put a link to it over on our website, of course.
Thank you.
Because I'm so proud of what you did. Now, I also heard for some reason that you were a caller once before.
So back in 2005, my first startup was called PBWiki, and this was the world's first private wiki host, and we actually got linked to from the Kim Komando website from a .asp page that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, right.
And it was just kind of fun to be back in the saddle. It's my third startup now, and your show helped us get PBWiki off the ground. We ultimately ended up growing that up to about 4 million people a month using that service.
You're kidding.
And it's still around today, more than 15 years later.
And then what was the second startup?
Second startup was called Ohana, and that was to help parents share pictures and videos of their kids with extended family, and that got sold to Facebook. So I spent a year and a half at Facebook, 4.5 years at Google, and I just left Google in January and incorporated medcorder, short for medical recorder, that's the name of the app, in February. We closed our seed round for $2.5 million last month and got our first national press in CNBC that you saw.
Well, you know what?
Off to the races.
Yeah, you know what? Congratulations. I mean,
thank you.
And what I think is just so awesome is that you're going to help so many people, and
we're going to try.
You are. I mean, you're going to make a difference, and that, at the end of the day, that's what we all want to do, right? I mean, what are we doing this for? I mean, we want to have an impact. We want to leave a legacy.
Amen.
Once again, David, thank you for joining us. You're amazing, and we're going to put a link to it over at komando.com for sure for all of our listeners, and it is something that. I don't need to tell you, because you know that if you are going through this type of situation in your life, this type of trauma, is that all the resources that you can gather is all the benefit. And I love this app, and I love what David created, because it's a group effort. When one family member is going through some type of ailment, it's not just that one single family member. The whole family is now involved in the care and nurturing and the success and what's going on. And it really is important, and the communication is absolutely key. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, a few things. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for more digital know-how, check out all these other great links.